Good afternoon, my name's Matt and welcome to this UnderstandingE Mastermind. Now in today's topic today's topic should I say is going to be software-ish, to give you an idea of some upcoming projects of what I've been working on in the background and what Dave's been giving me some help in the background as well. Now obviously apologies from Dave, is normally the pair of us here which are live. Unfortunately, last week, due to I'll say family commitments, Dave wasn't available. And last week for myself, I was actually in a car and I do have a very good reason why I was not here last week. And we're going to have quite a lot of desktop stuff this week. So give me a second. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to go and get the desktop up. So I need to make sure I'm choosing the right window, which I think that's the right one. There we go. There is my reason why I was not here last week. Her name is Luna, and that is a mini schnauzer. She joined the family on the weekend, and she sat here in the office sound asleep, ironically, in that little pink bed, which is actually very cute if you give her that. Anyway. So that's my reason. If you hear some whimpering or some stuff in the background, or I need to get distracted for a moment, I do apologize in advance. She's 2 months and 2 days old, quite the little sweetie. Howdy, Nick, by the way, those of you which are just joining us, today's topic is going to be software projects which we're working on here in the background. We're going to take a specific route, but there's a couple of things I want to share with you first. So, share before we actually get there. So number one, distraction. I do have a little puppy here in the background. She's being good as gold. I knackered her out before we came live. So anyway, let's get rid of the cute picture and let's get onto the topic of work. And I actually want to start with, this is a screenshot of an email which I received earlier, and I think it's absolutely fantastic. So that's on the left-hand side of our screen. It says, "Hi, Matthew. My name is Craig, and I'm the owner of Smarter Pools Pet Products. I noticed your order has been delivered and wanted to make sure that you and your pets are happy with your new Smart Pools Slow Eating." Right, you can tell that's the item title, isn't it? Which they've put in there as a keyword, just in there, to say the least. If you have any issues, please reply to the message so I can make it right. And then I need your help. Family-run business, really starting to strum those chords here in the background. Please leave a review. Now, there's some irony to that one, which is that's a little bowl which you put the food in, and the dog can then chase it around with its tongue. And I actually thought it was a really good idea, but the bowl is absolutely enormous. Now, I've got no intention of hitting reply to this email. And I'm personally speaking, when it comes to reviews, I'm normally a 5 out of 5 reviewer or a 1-star reviewer. Which I've unfortunately had to do a collection of times for some substandard products recently. Anyway, putting that aside, it's got some really good elements in there. And let's think about what's his name, Craig, and why he's doing this. In short, Craig from Smarter Pools is doing that because he knows the value of reviews, and he also actually he's not worked out the value of feedback, especially on Amazon as well, because unlike eBay, which I will now say I would guesstimate 50% of people leave feedback from half the transactions, if that, nowadays. But on Amazon, it's an awful lot less. And unfortunately, you do get scored upon it, which is never any good, because chances are the person who's leaving you feedback is probably annoyed. So when they do leave a 3, 2, or 1-star rating on your profile, on Amazon, it really hurts, because and the reason why it really hurts is because most other people are not leaving feedback for you when it comes to Amazon. That's the reason why it really hurts. Now, the other reason why I'm picking this up is because reviews are, and I'm sure you already know this, reviews are absolutely everything when it comes to Amazon. I know on a personal level that it completely sways my personal buying decisions, and I'm sure it's the same for you as well. Now, I did grab the top sellers list from Amazon, and again, I've gone into baby, toddlers, and toys. And the reason why I've come down a couple of categories is because There's obviously this like Fortnite toys which are coming out, which are really starting to sway some of the top ones. So I chose like a steady category, which is baby and toddlers. And you will notice that from all of these products on here is that they do have, well, generally speaking, a large number of reviews. So the Tommy's hide and squeak eggs of 2,611 reviews. The same for the VTech Playtime bus set. You've got 502 for the Cookie Surprise, 797, 1,571. Now there's some art. You can see how Amazon's reacting here. You've got obviously like a long-term selling product here. And then you've got a new one, which is Hatchimals, which has got very, very few reviews, but has obviously had a spike in sales. Obviously, with Christmas coming right now, is that it's had a spike in sales, and the bestsellers list has adapted to that. Now, I'm just going to pick on one of these by random, and we'll scroll in. We'll go and have a look at the customer reviews, which we've got on here. And you'll see that 65% of them are 5-star reviews. And this is one of the cool things about Amazon. And again, I'm sure you already know this, but I'm just going to cover the topic off already, which is that basically the short summary is reviews equals sales. There's no other simple way of spelling that out when it comes to Amazon, is reviews equals sales. So if we go back to that image, which we had a few moments ago, which was down here somewhere, which I've now been lost. No, I've lost it. Is that, oh, sorry, it was on that tab just there, my bad. So that is exactly the reason why Craig is asking for a review on the product, because it's vitally important, because the short answer is that the more reviews a product has, the higher chance that the product has of selling. I'm sure I'm speaking to the fully converted. Now, it's almost the same for when it comes to eBay. Now, I say almost the same. The reason why I'm saying it's almost the same is because eBay are still very new when it comes to the idea of product ratings, okay? Now, that has been, I'm sure many of you are aware of this, you know the reasons behind this, because eBay's they're only just moving very slowly, let's be honest there. It's like a snail's pace to move to a unified catalog. But that's what Amazon has. That's why they're able to do product reviews so well. Now, the thing is that I wanted a good example, and I was sipping out my coffee mug. So I just typed in coffee mug or coffee mugs into eBay. And then if we scroll down, there was one which really stood out. Take a look at this one here. Okay, so this one has literally just sold over 1,000 mugs. Okay, you would think that 1,000 sales, we would have a few reviews on the product, or as eBay call them, ratings. Okay, and I was absolutely mortified that there's not a single one. And look, there was 5 sold in the last in the last 24 hours. And yet no product reviews, at least being featured at the top of the listing. I'm going to scroll down. We got some feedback being shown in there, but no product reviews at all being shown in the listing. Now, if we scroll down, and what I'd actually like you to do is just to hammer this point home, is that we're just going to wander down the list, and we're going to look at pictures, and we're going to look out for extra icons. So we know that's a sponsored one. Someone's paying get to the top. Absolutely brilliant. We've got that one there, which is at the top for probably very good merits, or probably used to be very good merits. That's the issue. We'll get to that topic in a moment. We've got another one in here, funky design, which looks like Lego, and you've got click and collect on there. You've got another sponsored, another 2 sponsored results. Brilliant. We got crazy giraffe lady being in there. And then scrolling down, now this is the curious one, okay, is that we now hit 2 products which are standing out. We got one here doing a buy 2, get 1 free. That's a really nice feature on there. Again, as considering it's personalized item. But look at these 2 items here. You'll see that one has got 50 product ratings and the other one's got 51. Now, there's a couple of reasons which trigger that, okay? The simple one is that you need to put a barcode on your product. Okay, That's the simplest way of explaining it. It's you go into EP IDs and the product needs to be in the catalog and stuff like that. Again, I'm just trying to keep this at a very high level right now. But product ratings, when it comes to eBay, this is like, how do I phrase this? Gold rush territory, okay? Because right now, the people who, like you, who are watching this, who get in early and start fostering those reviews and ratings, is that ironically, here's something really ironic, is that when it comes to eBay, is that it's virgin territory almost. In fact, can I turn this screen off so we go back to the camera? There we go. So it's almost like virgin territory when it comes to eBay, because some sellers, hopefully you, have been smart enough, have been able to get the identifiers into the products on eBay, so that they will notify your buyers to leave ratings and on those products or reviews. Sorry, it's a little bit confusing. eBay call them ratings, Amazon call them reviews. They're the same thing. Someone's just reviewing a product. Okay, and that's the thing. When it comes to eBay right now, this is one of those rare instances where it's almost virgin country, because so few people have been and adopted that. If we go back to that list right now and we take a look at that page, you have a wander down that page and you'll see what I mean when it comes to that page, is that very, very few people in those coffee mugs. So we had to scroll literally almost half the page just to get to those two, and give it, and I genuinely mean this, is that give it a couple of months, because remember, we are realists. We're not interested in quick fixes. We're interested in securing, when it comes to eBay, securing that our items weld themselves to the top of the results. And we know, because we're smart business owners, that we need to take a multifaceted approach to it, and there's lots of things which we can do. And one of those bigger ones, which is becoming more glaringly apparent, is around the product rating. So give it a couple of months. Is like this personalized mug, the colored tea glass ones as well. They will end up being much, much higher in the search results, because in short, the reviews or ratings inspire confidence from buyers to make a purchase. It's a well-known fact. You know it yourself. If you've got a product with no reviews and then you've got products with 1,070 reviews like we saw on that octopus a few moments ago, you're going to go with the one which 1,570 people you have never met and never will meet, somehow you trust them, and you're buying the more popular product, okay? And that's the thing, that's what I was trying to say, is that it's almost virgin territory when it comes to eBay right now, because people are just missing out on just simple things. And that's one of the things, is that, coming back onto topic, is that, if I can press stop again, one of the other points which I want to make is that if you think back to all of the product research live masterminds which me and Dave have done here with you, is that every single time we look into a product range or into just a little niche, just one tiny little thread, because remember, eBay's massive with millions of products, and we look in one tiny little thread, we always find the door left open, okay? And that's the thing, was that me and Dave, we can point to a perfect listing on Amazon, which is the bananagrams. I'm sure many of you had mentioned that before. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just go and type in bananagrams into Amazon and look for that great listing on there. Jungle sticks is another example as well. And I'm sure there's hundreds or more examples as well. Whereas on eBay, we don't know of a perfect eBay listing, because every single time which we look, we always see there's money being left on the table, because there's characters left in the title. You get a dozen images, and some people only use 1 or 3 at maximum. There's subtitles not being used. Item specifics are normally the biggest offender of just getting glazed over and not populated. Item descriptions, making it very quick for someone to make an informed decision whether the items are right for them or not. Typically, bullet points are a great method of doing that. Just put a couple of key bullet points and then let them then doing the description afterwards or any technical specifications afterwards, so that it's just straightforward. You qualify someone in with the bullet points to get across the key points, just like Amazon does with the bullet points. And then if they're fine with the bullet points, they'll then go on to read the description. If they're not fine with the bullet points, they're hitting that back button and getting back out there. Okay, and that's a topic of exit strategy and something else, which is a topic for a different day. But coming back to my point is that when it comes to eBay, I don't know of the perfect eBay listing. Every time we have looked, and you've seen us do this live, we always, and the best metaphor is the doors left wide open for other people to come in. For you, again, like, you want to start going into another category, the door's wide open. Do your research. We've been looking at 30 similar products on eBay specifically. Cumulative research will help you make a fantastic listing. And even then, you need to be wary of leaving the door open for someone to come in later, because remember, things do change over time. Like ratings, which we saw on eBay a few moments ago, is that, yes, people are just starting to leave ratings on products on eBay. But generally speaking, there's very few products with more than 100 ratings on them. And if you think about Amazon's, there's an untold number of products with an untold number of reviews, because Amazon have been at this for years. Okay, and this is why I'm saying it's virgin territory. When it comes to eBay, there's very little competition when it comes to ratings or reviews on eBay, because very few people have really adopted this. And again, there's eBay doing their best to promote it, etc., etc. On Amazon, it's almost ingrained. Is that people getting thrown out of retail stores because they're looking at the products on Amazon and then checking the reviews and potentially buying on Amazon. The reason why they go into Amazon, the reason why I shop on Amazon, the reason why you shop on Amazon, I'm sure, is the number of factors, but seeing the reviews from other people is a major factor. So when it comes to eBay right now, really is like I would say it's a gold rush. It's definitely virgin territory. There's very few products out there with a high number of reviews. Obviously, if you go in the mobile phone category, you'll see a skyrocket in there. But if you're selling niche products like coffee mugs, for example, which you look in there, there are definitely niche products within that area, is that it is very much virgin territory. 84 product ratings is not beyond impossible to compare to, or to be in a relatively short frame of time if you have the right products in the categories. So let's think about that for a moment. Okay, what have I covered so far is that I've talked about reviews on Amazon, feedback on Amazon. I didn't really mention feedback on eBay. That's all kind of granted. And I've mentioned ratings when it comes to eBay, reviews. And that's basically what I've been here working on for the last couple of weeks here in the background, but still a little way away from having anything tangible. And you've kind of got a very good idea what the topic's going to be about and what you're going to be seeing from us very, very shortly. But I'm not going to go into the exact details. Obviously, I want to retain some form of competitive advantage before it actually goes live. I will now change the topic slightly, which was that, remember that conversation we had a few moments ago, which was that when it comes to those product research videos, when we go off and we go and take a tangent and look on eBay for products, and then we find the doors wide open, is that I'm also working on something else which will help you improve what you're already doing. And I know that is a challenge, because I've been in the same position yourself. You've got, we'll say conservatively 500 listings live on eBay. Which ones urgently need your attention? Is it the top 10? Is it the top 50? Is it the bottom 10? Which ones are the bottom 10? Which ones have you never sold? Which ones, and what the hell should I add to them as well? Because it's all fine and dandy, Matt here chatting about coffee mugs, assuming that you only sell one coffee mug or type. And that's the reality, is that chances are you have a range of different products, So we're also working on a tool here in the background so that we can give you either copy and paste stuff to do, or press a button and it will do it for you kind of territory as well, to improve what's happening on eBay with specific listings. And crucially, you know why we're suggesting or why the tool will be suggesting to do certain things, because it will be looking broader than just your listing. It'll be looking elsewhere, and it'll be able to give you some suggestions, tangible, proven suggestions on what you should be doing with a specific listing based upon what else is happening within that category where that product is listing. I hope that makes some sense. There are obviously other things which we're working on here in the background. If you think about it logically, is that if you think about if we've got an integration to eBay, we've got an integration to Amazon, okay. If you think about my personal history, you already know that I won't go to eBay listing software. Okay, actually creating an item from scratch and then listing new products on specifically onto eBay. That's a very messy area. And also crucially, there's some fantastic tools out there which will do those kind of things for you already. I don't see there's any value in reinventing the wheel when it comes to eBay listing software. Order management, I kind of feel exactly the same as well. However, there are many other tools around, valuable areas around where tools can help you. Okay, because again, I'm assuming that you're using M2E Pro, okay, with Magento. So you've already got your inventory management system, you've already got your order management system as well, and you've already got the marketplaces rolling as well. Let's have a quick look. Jado says, I've searched around for a service to detect when a 1-star review is left on eBay. Don't think any exist. Yeah, don't worry, that will get covered as well. That's already in process right now, because Jay, you're absolutely right. It's the same on Amazon. In fact, Jay, I'm sure you've seen the comment in the live chat. There was actually an interesting circumstance a short while ago. This poor company, they will remain unnamed, to be fair to them, which is just, we'll say the camera or the photography category. Actually, you can see the stand just back over there beyond my shoulder. And it turned out it was rubbish, absolute rubbish. So within overnight, I decided it was completely rubbish and sent it back to Amazon and left it a 1-star review. Fully worthy of a 1-star review. If you've got a camera slider where one of the rings is bent, okay, and it goes dented, so it goes not because you're trying to glide across. No good at all. Fairly warranted a 1-star review, because let's face it, 3-star reviews are just worthless. It's either good or it's bad. That's my logic anyway in my head. So we got a 1-star review, and within, I would say, 24 hours, I had a message from that seller on Amazon trying to resolve the issue. Didn't help that I also had an issue with one of their stands, and that got sent back as well because it was utter rubbish. Again, obviously, as they pointed out to me, I'm paraphrasing this, which was, Matt, what did you expect for a £50 product? And you've ended up buying a £130 product. And ironically, I wasn't happy with a £130 product because the ball bit on the top was rubbish. And again, the reason why I know it was rubbish is because I bought a separate unit from a different manufacturer, and that was excellent. So I knew the one which I was being provided was utter rubbish. So unfortunately, that also got a 1-star review. And again, I'm not normally fair where fair is due, to less than, if you spent 135 quid on a tripod, okay, nothing special, it's a bloody tripod, you'd expect it to be brilliant, and it wasn't at all. Anyway, one thing led another, they sent us about 4 or 5 emails trying to resolve the issue as well. Very personal, very well worded. What they did actually lack was the stamina to get it resolved. Unfortunately, I was on a holiday at the time, so I didn't bother replying. If they'd followed up with me afterwards, then yeah, we would have looked at resolving stuff as well. So yeah, Jay will be looking at that as well. There's something, again, this is tied into another project which I'm working on as well. And yeah, that stuff's already been written. Jay, I kid you not, half of this stuff has already been written. Okay, today I finally got round. I have a bloody great big long to-do list of stuff to get done. One of them was to integrate some stuff which I'd written in Node in February of this year. Okay, and it took me 20 minutes to port it across. And I got a little bit of database work to do on it, realistically an hour or so. But most of this stuff is already written. There's the irony for you. I've written it for other projects or have been building up to this point for a very long time. So I'm trying to give you like this friendly nudge. Look out as UnderstandingE members that we will be launching some stuff in the very, very near future. Funny enough, something to do with reviews, whether that's on Amazon or eBay, and it will definitely be feedback orientated as well. And Jay, if you've got any other things which you've spotted, okay, and again, this is me putting my hand up and saying be humble, which is that if you fall to something which would be useful to you, okay, because not most people, what you've suggested there is, yeah, Widget Chimp v4. To be honest, Jay, Widget Chimp's going to stay the way it is. I'm happy where it is. What I would say is that it's v4, as in that Matt has finally, and I kid you not, finally learned a development framework. And I say learn very loosely. I'm enough to be dangerous with it. And I actually employ 2 full-time developers, which have been flat out for the last last 2 months on working on bits and bobs for me to get us to this stage. So yeah, it's kind of like v4, but it's not Widget Chimp. It's something quite different. Okay, I do like the name chimp. I don't think for me the word chimp doesn't provide childish. I think for me it's I like the way that MailChimp was organized. And again, we're going to stay away from email marketing completely, so it's a whole different ballpark. But it kind of suits my personality that you can be a little bit cheekier. And you can have a sense of humor when it comes to help files and things like that, with a more playful name. Because if you were all straight and narrow and white collar, you'd have to be very prim and proper, which is not me at all. As I'm sure you've seen some of the help videos within Widget Chimp, they are very real life, if that makes sense. So that's something which I want to keep. There is another really big project which is I am working my way to, okay, and it's a big one because I know it'll have massive value for you as business owners in one area of your business, which does sap an awful lot of time. So we'll get that one. There's a very unique spin going on with that one. I had the idea 4 years ago. No, technically I had the idea when I used to work for a certain software company. So that was many, many moons ago. And I'm only just working my way to get there right now. So that's going to be out in the near future. That has some very quirky things in there, which I know that if I was in your shoes, you'd find very helpful. Anyway, that's just me being very careful in what I'm saying. Let's have a quick look. Jay says, Node.js is great. I'm trying to learn Python. Perhaps a new app make part of Widget, but I'm eager to see your work. No, it won't be part of Widget Chimp. It will be separate. It's separate just because of the new framework which we're using. It's just easier to write stuff from scratch in it because it's just quicker and short, and it's better long term, I hasten to add. Jay, Node.js is great. Yes. By the way, I only know I know several programming languages. I don't know very much about Python. I just know enough just to scrape by. And Google's my friend if I get stuck when it comes to Python. Node.js, I have done about 6, maybe 7 different courses of a combination of Skillshare, Udemy, and YouTube, just working my way through things. I have tested, and that's the crucial point, written and tested in anger some very high volume application. And I know it's high volume because I know the stats which go through it. It's not mental, but it is very high volume, and I'm very pleased with it. That's using AWS Lambda, a whole other collection of things which I've learned over the last year or so on how helpful tools which are available in AWS, again, makes things scalable. It's also very inexpensive as well. People moan about prices all the time, but actually when you work out the value you get back, it's very good. So actually, Jay, I would suggest definitely go and have a look at Node.js, going off on a slight tangent for languages. It's pretty cool. There are other uses of JavaScript, Angular, for example, and so on and so forth. I like Node for backend processing because the biggest thing which you will find is multi-threading. Okay, stuff finishes before other stuff should have finished. It's very strange coming from procedural code, PHP, for example, where you do this, it just runs down in a list. It may spin around or just comes to an end. Node goes, well, hey, it goes off in a whole different set of directions. It's absolutely brilliant. And of course, if you can spider stuff as well, you can have knock-on. So you start something here, that spiders out into 5 threads, and those 5 threads can go out into 50 threads. And when you're starting to use things like AWS Lambda, is that it gets like infinitely scalable very quickly. So yeah, those million requests per day on eBay soon rack up and disappear. So yeah, we've done some quite big volume stuff on a daily basis. It's been really, really good fun just to test the limits of what's possible. So yeah, like I said, been really busy here in the background. And it's just now starting to put things together. Hence this little teaser mastermind to give you an idea of some of the things which are coming up in the future. Yeah, take a course. Remember, like Jay, if you pay like a tenner or whatever it is on Udemy and you don't like it, just ask for your money back. It's pretty much no hassle on there. And also, I must be I'm a little bit guilty. I've got a year's subscription on Skillshare, and I've used everything which I wanted out of it in the moment, and now it's just left to the missus and the kids to watch it every now and again. Anyway, I digress massively. Apologies for that. When it comes to eBay and Amazon, look out for some tools from myself and Dave in the very, very near future. Once we have, once we're ready for you, we will let you know. It will be next month or two. I'm going to be as loose as that because once the ball starts to get rolling, which we're really, really close to it, is that things will move very, very quickly. So there's 3 of us working on it pretty much full time. Myself, two far more skilled developers than myself, working on certain parts of this, and it is moving at a really, really good pace right now. So yeah, look out for some new features coming out very shortly. And some software products from myself and Dave. Obviously, we always look after UnderstandingE premium members, you know that. If you have any comments or suggestions on what you'd like to see, like we saw Jay a few moments ago about the 1-star review notifications, do let me know. You can let me know at Matt, so M-A-T-T, at understandinge.com. I'd love to hear from you. Even if you think it's small, if you're wasting your time on it on a daily basis, and you think software could get your way out or could help, then do let us know. Because like I said, we're working on the integrations right now. They're not that far away at all. So happy days. Like I said, apologies from Dave today. I must admit, Luna down there, I didn't mention her name, did I? That's the mini schnauzer which we've now got. I've never owned a dog before, and she's cute as a button, to say the least. She's been well behaved here. I'm sure the kids are going to be home from school very shortly, and it's going to be a riot here as normal. Anyway, on that note, we should be back to normal next week. Now, this is the bit where I normally embarrass Dave and say, Dave, what are we doing next week? Because that's my favorite thing to do. Ironically, I have no idea what the topic is for next week, so I'm not going to embarrass myself this week, but I can tell you, same time next week, we will be live with a slightly more structured mastermind. But like I said, any comments, suggestions, or feedback or ideas when it comes to the software side, if you're wasting your time on doing something or a task or multiple tasks, do let us know. You can let us know at matt@understandingE.com. On that note, it's time for me to go. Thank you very much for taking the time to join me here live for this week's Mastermind. By the way, if this was your first time here, I'm Matt. Welcome aboard. Howdy. Normally we're joined by Dave here, and we do run these Masterminds live every single week at 3 p.m. UK time. And we do have another 6 or 7 topics lined up for next Tuesday and the next month or month and a half after that as well. So we're here live every week normally. And on that note, it's time for me to go. Thank you very much for taking the time to join us. We'll see you again shortly. From myself, Matt, cheerios.